Hello, Leo. Great to have you here. My name is Shona. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like, and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Leo. To you, and I know that the other signs have gotten it, like a week in advance, and I apologize for that. And also for the change in the format too, I am on the road right now, so I don't have my normal setup that I had at home. So a very, very interesting month for you. And I do feel that based on especially the Venus retrograde cycle, we also have the whole Saturn going back into its cycle starting on the 3rd in its normal cycle, going back into Sagittarius. So it's actually a very, that blue moon. So we already have a Page of Swords energy coming through. This is residual energy carrying over from, okay, pursuing somebody else. All right, so there is a love triangle in the mix. So let's talk about this in a little bit. Let me get all the cards out. Yeah, there is a trail of people. It's interesting. So if you can look at it like this, there's somebody in your past possibly pursuing you, an air sign. And then you're forging ahead and you're trying to follow another person, possibly an earth sign. So there's a trail of energy. It's like unrequited love, almost unrequited love, or at least, a threesome type of energy coming through. So let's just get the rest of the cards out and then I'll start talking about it. Okay, so a lot of you might have been dealing with an air sign from that the Knight of Wands in the reverse position is not a good card in general because it deals with a lot of like sexual energy, lust. It's also somebody who's very, very spirited and who is quite impulsive. So, rein it in a little bit, narrow down what it is that you want to do, who it is that you're trying to pursue, and don't scatter your energy far and wide. So quality over quantity would be my thing, mainly because you're ending with the Star card. And this is the card of wishes, promises, hopes, aspirations coming true. All right. So no matter how problematic things have, just like you lost your footing, you lost your bearing, you don't know which love interest to pursue, you're fascinated by one, you're like intellectually stimulated by one, but you're like physically attracted to another, so you didn't really know where first. I do feel that you are going to have to retrace your step and redo it. Okay, so whatever was decided on, just like on the 31st, if you're out casually having a drink with a friend and you're just like, this is my plan for the next 3 years, whatever that was, or this is who I want to be with, whatever who that ever that person is, it's showing here that whatever plan was said, laid down, or planned on, just I don't feel you're heading in the right direction. Okay, so I would urge you to, take some time, think about, in your whatever state that you were in and whatever you decided then, just take a moment and think about how feasible it is. And most likely, I do feel that it needs to be retraced so that you can have a better outcome in the future, all right? So let's talk about this love triangle thing first, okay? So for this month, I do feel an element of an air sign, definitely an air sign, possibly like an air signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and possibly an Aquarius. This is the card of Aquarius coming through as a shining star. Basically, this is somebody that is in your midst somehow, and essentially the air sign is telling you which direction to go and take heed of where you're headed. But I do feel that you were a little bit off track, and now you're trying to right things with, your relationships. You're trying to right things, like you're trying to turn your life around, and you're kind of lost at this point. So of this month that you're going to realize, what didn't work and where you're headed. Okay, so by that time, there is going to be a change in your course, in your life direction. So you're going to be basically doing a 180 and then retracing your steps and trying to find your bearing. And it's basically like getting back to square one, but don't fret over it, because square one was what you needed, where you needed to be. in order to be in the right direction towards the end of this month, okay? So think of it as, life lessons, trial and error. We have to do things in order to find out what works, in order to find out, we can't really live life with like, what if I'd done this? What if I'd done that? Because essentially, I do feel that a lot of people have said this, like, by the end of their lives, the things that they don't do are the things that they regret the most. Okay, so don't think of it as a lapse in judgment or as, making a mistake. Is mainly because you were pushed or pulled to do whatever it was and to feel very strongly about doing something for a reason. And it's mainly for the learning experience. So don't think of it as, making a mistake, or don't think of it as you wasted your time, trying to rework the situation, trying to rekindle things with a person, and then at the end you ended up empty-handed. That's a very like pessimistic way of looking at life. And life in general is more about the journey rather than the destination, okay? So for example, if we're at A and we want to be at B, and we just tell ourselves that, I want to be there, and like, somehow I guess teleport ourselves to that point where we want to be. It basically is cheating, and it's also depriving us of that opportunity to experience the process of getting from A to B, where we are learning and solidifying, our the things that we want in our lives. We're learning more about ourselves, we're learning about the world, we're learning about other people. So think of it as a learning experience, okay? So for those of you who have been involved with an air sign in the past, or who is, the air sign is showing up as well in the Two of Swords and next to this card of Aquarius. So I do feel for those of you who have been thinking about, an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, um, you are, there is a sense of, I do feel that, because you're showing up in the reverse position, I do feel that there is lies and deception associated with your actions. It could also be the other person's actions, but it's in the reverse. So I do feel you're also in the reverse. So I do feel there might have been you were hoping for some quick gain, some quick victory with this air sign, and it didn't pan out the way that you want. So overall, there's a sense of awkwardness in communication, or especially in going back to the air sign. And there is an opportunity to do it pretty much by the end of the month, once all that retrograde energy basically starts to stabilize, and you can find your footing and you can move forward and you can go back and fix this situation with the air sign, okay? So if you have an air sign, I do sense that the relationship was very, very faulty. It was built on really like muddled and cloudy and like rose colored glasses type of communication. You both were like, I do sense that you both were not seeing each other truthfully, like realistically. You might have like had a I do sense there's like a fascination, but with the moon, it's very illusory. So for this month, clarity is definitely coming through from this air sign, and you're going to decide if you want them in your life or not. And I do sense that a lot of you will forge forward, possibly with this air sign, okay? At the same time, when I mentioned the threesome love relationship, a lot of you might be getting involved with like an earth sign as well. And earth signs are Capricorn, Virgos, and Taurus, okay? And I do sense that this didn't bring you, the stability that you were hoping for, or at least what you saw wasn't what you were getting with this earth sign. And this earth sign is a little bit more they're like unemotionally available. Yeah, I do feel like unemotionally available. And I do sense that with this earth sign in their midst, they might have somebody else. They might be in like a separation. They might be in a very open type of relationship in which they're kind of like here today, gone tomorrow. I'll take what I can get, and then they move forward. So they're not they're looking out for number one, which is themselves. And from your perspective, there's great attraction. You feel that they're stable because innately they're an earth sign. So they will project an aura that they're looking for something a little bit more stable, um, a little bit more like conducive for longevity. So you were basically falling in love with this image rather than the reality. So, a lot of signs in general, and the full moon happened in which, things were illuminated. You got the lay of the land and you figure out people's true colors and their true intentions. And the rose colored glasses came off for a lot of signs, but especially for earth signs and the fire signs across the board. I do feel that total illumination came through. And for this, I would say for the first 2 weeks, you're kind of in an introspective phase and you're trying to do damage control is what I'm sensing. Good for you. It's always important to recognize when we've made a mistake. It's also important to like find our bearing first, because I do feel a lot of you too with the Venus retrograde, um, you were things were like up in the air with a lot of potential love interests, and you're trying to figure out, who's the best person to be with. So you might have gone with one, and you feel that, okay, I've already, burned that bridge. I can't go back. Actually, there are plenty of opportunities coming through, especially towards the end of this month. And it is your birthday time as well. So I do feel wishes are being fulfilled left and right. So don't deprive yourself of the opportunity to essentially admit if you have made a mistake, or if you feel that you're off track somewhat and you want to like find your bearing and rewrite yourself and reroute yourself back to the starting point in order to begin again, is what I'm sensing. This is wishes coming true for you guys this week, this month, excuse me. And it is going to be very much like related to work projects, home situations, and relationships. Okay, so it's very, very love focused. It's also very much like relationship oriented. Okay, so if there have been troublesome relationships in your past, I do feel that for this month, you are going to be able you're going to be able to reconcile. You're going to be able to right all the wrongs. You're going to be able to balance out, give and take in the relationship as well, okay? I do feel that there are a lot of opportunities for family get togethers, family reunions, and things like that. And it's understandable because it is your birthday time. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities to meet up with old friends, to um, to hang out with people in a very joyous type of environment in which people are letting down their guard, and it's sort of like a let bygones be bygones type of energy. And especially coming through with your birthday time, on the day of your birthday, whenever that is, like it might have happened already, or it might be, until the 21st of this month. But a lot of you are feeling as if life is too short. I'm going to spend it with people who give me what I want, or at least people who are emotionally supportive, okay? So you're moving forward, and the ones that have been like, I know that as fire signs as well, you don't enjoy deception in other people very much. And that's going to be your criteria. Life is too short, so the ones that have deceived me in the past, I'm not going to, put much stock in them coming around. I don't get like an energy where you're cutting people off for good, but I do feel it's sort of like, I'm going to take care of the people that matter to me. I'm going to pick up the pieces and move forward and reroute myself to a better path. And the ones that have, either deceived me in the past, have backstabbed me, have not been emotionally supportive of me, if they want to, follow me and appease me, or at least show proof that they're changing, that's fine. But I'm not going to put my life on hold for them anymore. I'm going to like basically pursue the life course that I'm meant to be on. And if they catch up, that's good for them. All right. So it's a very nice, good attitude to approach life in general. I do sense as well there's going to be like there's travel here. Be very, very careful with travel logistics, especially if you're seeing like friends and family. If you're traveling with friends and family, I do sense that there is traveling, um, but the destination is going to be meeting up with other people. And I do feel if you're traveling with another person, you are basically there's a lot of like planning, there's a lot of and it's pretty much, it's not fair, but I would say it's an enjoyable trip, okay? So don't worry about it too much. And every time you travel, it's actually good for you. So, just go with it. But I do feel that a lot of and you are being extra meticulous and careful about the logistics so that nothing can go wrong. My advice here is take it easy. You have a lot on your plate. I do feel like in terms of relationships, in terms of work situation too, there might be like some structural changes, especially like expansion or contraction in the work environment. So you have quite a bit on your plate. I also sense going back and redoing work projects as well. Something that you hastily got done so that you can have time to take a trip, for example, or have some time to go off and see a family member. Something was hastily done, and as a result, you're going to have to backtrack and redo it. So don't do things in haste. Get things done in a timely manner. Otherwise, it's going to create more work for yourself or other people, and they might become resentful on the work front. Okay, so don't rush anything. Don't rush anything for this month. That's probably just good advice. Um, I also want to say that for those of you who are thinking about even, getting moving homes, like some structural work or structural repairs inherent in the household or in the home that needs, okay? So if you've been thinking about that, and you're thinking about like even if there are family members like not even, like not getting along and things like that, the situation itself is going to be righted around the time of October. A lot more like a lot lighter, a lot more friendly, and just I feel that have a better sense of what they want to do, where they want to go, and things like that. So it's more like for the next few months, wrap things up, find closure, and try to resolve situations that have been hanging or hovering over your head. It's sort of like, take care of all those elephants in the room discussions, take care of those troublesome relationship patterns, especially, or behaviors from you or your partner. Address those issues so that you can move forward in a more positive light, okay? And I do sense that it is birthday season, make a wish, because I do feel wishes are coming true for you guys. So if you are in a relationship or thinking about an air sign, I do feel there is an opportunity for you to go back and fix it. If you're thinking about a situation with an earth sign, it can be resolved by the end of this month, at least when if you are doing damage control on the love front and you're trying to figure out, what it is that you want to do and who it is you want to forge ahead with. I do feel a lot more clarity is going to come through for you. Now, since we don't have any type of Pentacles card, I'm going to pull out 3 more cards just to look at your financial situation. There's an element of stagnation regarding the money front. Okay, so let's just look. Yeah, there is a sense of stagnation. You are in the reverse position, surrounded by, the cards aren't too great. So on the love front, things are looking good, but on the progression, financial, I guess financial gains front is not looking too great. So let's look at this. I do have the 5 of Cups in the reverse, the World in the reverse, which indicates restriction, working under the mandates of somebody else, and feeling a little bit stifled and restricted, okay? I also have the Empress card, which is basically in the reverse. It's I'm using these cards specifically for finances and work environment. So I do feel that if you are in a work situation in which you are, constantly like being monitored, being surveyed, or being you might have somebody who's a little bit of a micromanager at work that you're working under, like a supervisor with those traits. And it feels as if, I also feel like it's a busy, busy, busy month for you. So you might not have time to, it seems like the more ground you cover, the next day, it's not that you're starting over again, but it's just you're expanding so fast and there's so much work to do that you're not sure if you're covering enough ground. So it's a really tremendously busy month for you. So, you definitely have to hit the ground running. And I do feel that in general, if there is a situation in which there's a lot